Hello everybody, and welcome to my new Let's Play of Rhubarb in the Dagger of Amon. That is right, this is the sequel to The Colonel's Bequest, although it has pretty much nothing to do with The Colonel's Bequest besides the fact that it has Rhubarb in it. But trust me, it is... Oh, if you like The Colonel's Bequest, you will love this game. It is creepy as all get out, I must say, and well, you'll just have to see. There's a lot to this game. The beginning, just like The Colonel's Request, will be a bit slow, but it's important to set up the plot, set up the characters, set up the setting. So, we could just hop right into the game, or we could watch the introduction, which is important, trust me. If you want to know what's going on, or at least have an idea and understand other things that will happen, you want to watch the introduction. And I'm playing the CD version, so there will be voice acting in this one. Hooray! Although it's not the best, but it's pretty fun to listen to. So, let us begin. By the way, I love the music in this game. It just fits the ambiance so perfectly. So I believe this takes place in 1925. Sometime in the roaring 20s. What's going on here? That doesn't look suspicious at all. And that guy did not have any lung capacity, did he? He just died, but... Who is that guy and who killed him? That's something we'll find out for a while, but something important to remember. He was killed and stuffed in that trunk. If you notice on the left those are port windows, that means this is on that ship that we saw just before. And there it is. And here we get to see a few of our characters.
There is still time to correct this most grievous misunderstanding, Mr. Carter. The Dagger of Amon must be returned to Egypt.
Stay out of my way, or I'll thrash you within an inch of your life.
Surely you can find a way to accommodate everybody's wishes.
Who are you to tell me what I can do with my own property?
Your property? What authority do you have?
The authority of the Egyptian Antiquities Service. So if you don't like it, I suggest you waddle on back to Egypt and complain to your own government.
Would it not be better to work this out diplomatically?
This isn't a case for diplomacy. It's a case for your acceptance of the situation.
It is not just my acceptance at issue, Mr. Carter. Frankly, some of our people are quite upset, moved to take drastic measures if need be.
Are you threatening me, you malodorous little man?
Mr. Carter, there are some who would rather fight back than allow their country to be stripped of its national treasures.
Any fat savage who lays a finger on my exhibit, or threatens me, will find himself in deep trouble. Do I make myself clear?
As clear as the water of the oasis, Mr. Carter.
Alright, so we have Mr. Carter, who seems to be an archaeologist, and an Egyptian guy, whose name we don't know yet, but he does not seem very happy with Mr. Carter taking some artifacts from Egypt. That's something to remember.
Be careful with that steamer trunk, young man. It's exceedingly valuable.
It sure is heavy, Mr. Carrington.
Oh.
You got gold bars in here or something?
That voice.
The contents of my trunk are not your concern. Now be a good lad and take it to my taxi. The Countess is waiting.
Anyway, this guy with his heavy, weird steamer trunk taking it to a countess. Some countess waiting for him, I don't know.
New Orleans, 1 week later.
Are you sure you've got everything?
Yes, Daddy.
There she is, our heroine.
You've got Sam's address at the paper?
Yes, Daddy.
You've got the money I gave you?
Yes, Daddy. Don't worry.
Put some money in your shoe. New York's a big city, and there's a lot of crime there.
Look, I'm going straight to the paper. What could possibly go wrong?
Let me give you a little more money, just in case.
Dad, I've got to go.
Godspeed, Laura. Call me as soon as you get there.
I'll be fine, Dad. I'm going to make you proud of me.
Aww.
I already am, honey.
So remember, we saw Laura Bo's dad in a couple of flashbacks in the Colonel's Bequest, but here we get to see him in real life. But not for long. So she's not getting on the train, but okay, whatever. Yeah, there's Laura Bo, and that's what she sounds like, if you wondered. She's got an awesome little southern accent going on. And don't worry, I'll fiddle with the sound controls in a little bit. I can't do it now because it's the intro, but once we actually get into gameplay, I'll be able to do that. Because the voices seem a little tad bit louder than the actual sound effects and music, so I'll fix that. Anyway, so now we are on the train on our way to New York.
Excuse me, dear, are you a secretary?
Actually, I'm starting a new job as a reporter for the New York Daily Register News Tribune. My name's Laura Bo.
How nice. I'm Irmgard. Is this your first trip to the big city?
My name is Irmgard.
Am I that obvious? How could you tell?
And Laura's writing without even
By
looking
the
at her
way,
notebook.
You keep glancing out the window, dear. I did the same thing the first time I came to New York. The tall buildings, the people rushing around, it was all so exciting. Then I stepped off the train and got mugged.
Oh man.
How awful!
Hope that doesn't happen to us.
It's the New York experience. Thank you, dear. You're very kind. I've enjoyed
Uh-oh.
traveling with you.
Do you need any help getting home?
Well,
no,
that's
dear. I'll be fine. Thank you.
unfortunate.
You're sure you'll be okay?
Yes, thank you. Goodbye.
And we never see her again. Oh
Goodness
no.
gracious! My suitcase!
Can you spare a dime, miss?
Certainly, sir. I'm always ready to help those who are less fortunate.
Go Laura.
Well, that's just peachy. Give me all your money then.
Excuse me?
Hand it over.
This seems very unfair.
Welcome to New York, kid.
Jerk. And that's why Laura was asked to keep money in her shoe. Man, that makes me not want
I'm
to go
not
to New
gonna
York.
let a little bad luck ruin my day. Hello, New York. Laura Bo has arrived.
Well, you're here, you don't know anybody, and you lost all your stuff. So that's not a good way to start it out, but sure, she'll manage.
My destiny awaits. Nothing can stop me now. I really want to thank you for hiring me, Mr. Augustini.
For hiring you? I don't even know who you are.
What?
I'm Laura Bo. I believe you know my father, John Bo.
Ah, John Bow's daughter. Now I remember. How is he?
He's fine, and he says hello. He wanted to know if you still had that newspaper clipping on your wall about the explosion of the Hindenburg building in New Orleans.
Hey, it's right there.
Yes. Your father was the first cop on the scene of the explosion, and he let me into the wreckage so I could cover it for the paper. I rescued Rupert Hindenburg from his burning office, wrote about it, and made a name for myself as a reporter. I owe John a lot for that. Think you could handle being a reporter for a big city paper?
And he's a skeleton in the back
I'll do my best, sir.
and a skull on his desk.
We
What kind of
usually
guy
just
is
hire
this?
men for this job. It's rough out there, and you're kinda small.
I can do it, Mr. Augustini. Just give me a chance.
All right, as a favor to my old pal John, but I'll be keeping a close eye on you.
Thank you, sir.
For your first assignment, I want you to write about a burglary. Some kind of fancy knife was stolen from the Lion Decker Museum. I'll arrange for you to attend the fundraiser at 7 o'clock tonight for their new Egyptian exhibit.
Ooh, awesome.
Everyone will be there. Tell them you're covering the society news so they won't clam up on you.
You won't regret it, sir. I have a nose for news.
Just keep your nose out of trouble. Here's your official notebook and your pencil. It already has Crodfaller's notes in it. Have the story ready by 3 tomorrow or you're out of a job.
Man, that's rough. So, here we start Act 1. Laura Bow, a nose for news.
Laura Baines, right?
Laura Bow, sir. And I believe you have the advantage.
Crodfaller Rhubarb, ma'am, though you can call me Rube. So I suppose you've already met Sam.
Yes, he's very colorful.
Don't let him shake you. He's tough on the outside, but inside he's got a heart of stone.
I'm sure he... Pardon me? What did you say?
Never mind. Just pulling your leg. Why don't you take this desk right here and we'll get you settled in?
That's very kind of you. Mr. Augustini sort of left me on my own. I have to start on this story about a burglary at the Lion Decker Museum.
Alright, and so we can start interacting with things. Sweet, so here we are at the New York Daily Register News Tribune. That's what it's called, okay. Oh, that's a big name. Anyway, let me fiddle with, oh, you can't do speech and text at the same time, darn. Alright, anyway. Let's fiddle with this, see if we can get the detail up a bit. My computer can take it. Alright, so let's talk to this gentleman here.
I hope I'm not intruding. I mean, if you were working on the burglary story...
Miss Bow, please, it is not a problem. Yes, I'd started work on the story, but it's not your fault that it's been reassigned. That's just something I'll have to take up with Sam.
Thank you, Mr. Rube.
His name is Crodfaller T. Rhubarb. That is just that is an unfortunate name. Turn that down a little bit more.
It must be so thrilling to see your byline on a story.
I rarely get a byline on my obituaries. I seem to be pigeonholed on the obit page.
Oh, poor guy.
It must be so thrilling to see your byline.
Alright, so now we can ask him questions. Now here's the interesting thing about asking questions. Do the question mark thing, and you open the notebook. This is the notebook that Mr. Augustini gave us. And we have people, places, things, and miscellaneous that we can ask about. So instead of having to type in everything and figure it out for yourself, you have all this list here. So, without further ado, let's begin the interrogation. So just click on it, highlight it, and
What can you tell me about Sam?
He's a perfectionist. I badmouth him now and then, but, well, he's given me plenty of breaks, so I owe him a few.
Alright, how about Dr. Pippin Carter? So, this was already, like I said, these notes belong to Mr. Crodfaller, so he already has some stuff written down. Now, if you remember, Mr. Carter was that guy with the mustache that we saw on the boat that seemed to have some artifacts that the other guy didn't want him to have. So let's ask about him.
What can you tell me about this Pippin Carter character?
A queer bird, if ever I've met one. Kinda comes across as cultured, yet he's a loudmouth, you know what I mean? He's got a chip on his shoulder the size of the Brooklyn Bridge. He'll try to cut you down, just shake it off. That's what I had to do.
Yeah, he didn't seem like a very nice fellow. Dr. Archibald Carrington, who's this guy? We've seen him.
What should I know about Archibald Carrington?
Carrington hasn't been in the States long. He's from England, but somehow he doesn't quite come off on the level. Call me stupid, but I just think the guy should be more concerned about museum property vanishing. His first month on the job, too.
So he is the head of the museum that was robbed. Yeah, he's also the guy who was yelling at the other guy to be careful with his steamer trunk and everything. Alright, Detective Ryan O'Reilly. We don't know who that guy is at all.
Have you dealt with Detective O'Reilly?
I know he's assigned to the case. I didn't get anything out of him. Maybe you'll have better luck being a lady and all.
You'll see a little bit of sexism in this game, just because it fits, because this is the 20s, remember that. Crowdfollow T. Rhubarb.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Rhubarb.
What's to tell? I'm a reporter for this paper, probably since before you were born.
But I want to know about the real Crodfaller T. Rhubarb.
You mean there's another Crodfaller T. Rhubarb? No two sets of parents could be that cruel.
That's okay, Mr. Crodfaller. You don't have to tell me about yourself if you don't want to.
Rube.
Who are you calling a... Oh, Rube's your nickname, isn't it? Sorry, I forgot.
Good stuff. Let's see. Low fat? Well, let's just ask
Tell
about...
me about low fat.
The old laundry guy? What's to tell?
Okay, that didn't tell us much. Low fat's an old laundry guy. Seems like an oriental name. And my father, John Bow.
Have you heard the name John Bow?
Don't think so. He a relative of yours?
He's my father.
Oh, Sam's friend. Never met him, I'm afraid.
Alright, so let's ask about the Tribune.
Is there anything I should know about working here at the New York Daily Register News Tribune?
Well, first of all, we call it the Trib. No need to use the whole name. I don't think anyone in New York even remembers the whole shebang. Second, don't worry about Sam. He's gruff and loud, but he's really a cream puff. Don't let him push you around. Lastly, don't get too attached to any one assignment. You never know when it'll be yanked away from you and given to some less experienced reporter with no qualifications except an in with the boss.
Bitter much?
Sorry. Didn't mean to get peevish.
Oh, boy. Alright. How about the police station?
Anything I should know about the police station?
Well, it's usually a good source of information. It's standard procedure to check there at some point in any investigation. Sometimes they just blow smoke at you, hand you the commissioner's party line. But once in a while they'll give you something you can actually use.
I think I'll make this episode a bit long since it's the intro and we got some stuff to get through. I'll finish the conversation with him first before I end it off. So, Low Fat's Laundry, that's the place where I'm guessing Low Fat is.
What can you tell me about low fats?
It's a place to take your laundry. That's about it, as far as I know.
Not very interesting.
Give me the lowdown on the 12th Street docks.
Lowdown? You've been reading too much pulp fiction. The docks are the docks. Keep away from them unless you have business there.
Okie dokie, yeah, we saw the docks at the intro thing. We'll be visiting there, surely enough. And the most important, the Line Decker Museum.
Is there anything I should know about the Line Decker Museum?
Yeah, I went down there. I did get that far in the investigation, at least. I met the museum's president, a stodgy old croaker named Archibald Carrington III. Cagey guy, didn't seem overly concerned about the dagger.
That's
you
weird.
might see if you can get a little bit more out of him. I also spoke with a Pippin Carter. Nasty little squirt. He acts like the world owes him a living. Apparently, he's the one who's originally discovered the dagger in Egypt, along with some of the other junk in the exhibit. Now, he was hot about the dagger. Took the whole thing like it was a personal stab at him. No pun intended.
Well, if we remember, there was that Egyptian guy who was angry about the dagger being taken away and wanted to do something about it, but that's kind of weird that the head of the museum isn't even worried about the dagger being stolen. Oh well.
Now, what's the scoop on the flower shop?
You mean the speakeasy? The flower shop's just a cover. Look for a fella there named Ziggy. He knows a lot and tends to talk too much.
Ah, so we have a speakeasy in this game. Yeah, because this is during the Prohibition. So now instead of flower shop, it's replaced by speakeasy, but we'll get to that. It's about New York.
Any advice for somebody who's brand new to the city?
Well, keep your eyes off the tall buildings. That's how muggers spot you. Don't leave your luggage alone for a moment, or somebody will walk off with it.
Too late.
And if you travel anywhere, be sure to put some money in your shoe, just in case.
Yeah, she knows about that. Okay, so let's ask about the speakeasy.
Where can I find this speakeasy?
Just ask any cab driver. They'll take you there. It's the place disguised as a flower shop.
So everybody knows about it. Alright, things. So anything you have in your inventory at the time, that will be listed here and you can ask about it. So far we have nothing but the notebook.
What should I do with this notebook?
You're a reporter, for heaven's sake. Surely you know to take notes.
But why does it have all these notes already in it?
Because that was my notebook. And I was taking notes in it for the burglary investigation. It's your notebook now. And I don't care to discuss it anymore.
Oh, poor guy. Alright, so, okay, it's 1926. That's the year. And we can ask people about how their year's going.
I have a feeling 1926 is going to be a great year, don't you?
Yeah? You ever try writing obituaries for a living? Hardly a jolly way to spend the year.
Poor Crodfaller. Alright. How about the burglary? That's something important to ask about.
Were you able to get any leads at all about the burglary at the museum?
No, hadn't been working on the story very long. I went to see Detective OReilly down at the police station, but he was pretty tight-lipped. I was planning on talking to Ziggy down at the speakeasy. He's a stoolie, usually good for a tidbit or two.
Yeah, we'd heard about Ziggy.
Any other leads I can follow up on?
With due respect, ma'am, it's going to be your byline on the story, not mine.
Point taken, Mr. Crodfaller. Rube.
Anyway, since we've heard Ziggy mentioned, I think he'll now be an option to ask about.
Who is Ziggy?
He's what we politely call a stool pigeon. Basically, the guy squeals for cash. Amazing that the guy hasn't had his neck broken by now.
Yeah, I'll leave that one alone for now.
Any wisdom you care to pass along about Egyptology?
You've already proven to me you know as much about Egyptology as I do. Maybe more. I bow to your superior knowledge, Miss Bow.
Thank you, sir.
That's weird that that line is in there, because if you're playing the original version of this, the disc version, you actually have to pass a, oh, what is it called? It's copy protection, that's what it is, where, before you can even start anything, he will ask you about, like, he'll give you a little information about an Egyptian god, and you have to pick which Egyptian god he's talking about. But, since this is the CD version, and we don't have, it doesn't have the manual for that, we don't need it. Because, yeah, the manual in the original version had all the answers, and you needed that to get past it. Or you just had to be lucky, which is what I had to do when I was playing this game before, because I had lost the manual a long time ago. But if you're playing the original version, you can actually find the answers online. They have them there. So, that's cool. Anyway, I think I will end it off here, and next time we will explore a little bit in New York, do some investigating, find out more about this robbery. So thank you all for watching, and have a good day.